Joining me today is Dr. Robert Wolf. Dr. Wolf, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, and thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, you are so welcome. Friends, January 7th is International Holocaust Remembrance Day, to remember the innocent victims, but also honor those who survived. That's why, Dr. Wolf, you wrote a book. It's called Not a Real Enemy, the true story of a Hungarian Jewish man's fight for freedom. Wow, what a title. Tell us a little bit about the book, Doctor.
Well, you summed it up pretty well. The book is a biography about my dad, first and foremost. It's also a history book covering Hungary, not only the Holocaust, but also Hungary, little-known Hungary from World War I all the way to the end of the Hungarian Revolution in 1956. It's certainly an adventure. There's a lot of adventurous stories, and it certainly has anti-Semitism in the background throughout most of the book, as well as other great messages such as resilience and determination and not restitution, but redemption.
Yes.
It's a very powerful story. There's a lot of stories within the book, and like a cloak and dagger stories, multiple escapes, multiple forged papers by Raoul Wallenberg that my dad and his friend managed to get a hold of through a very kind officer who was friends of my dad's family. It also covers the triumphs and tragedies of my dad's family, especially his parents. My dad's father was in the military in World War I. He was actually a doctor on a ship, a captain on a ship during World War I, and he became a dentist in my dad's hometown of Győr, suburban industrial town in Hungary. My mom was from Budapest, so it covers a lot of things. It's a very multi-dimensional book.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, it's happy, it's sad, it's very emotional.
And I see it's action-packed, definitely, a little something in there for everyone. And I love how you talk about resilience and determination. Those are great things that we all need. What inspired you, Dr. Wolf, to write the book?
Well, it took a while. I mean, I've been a radiologist for 33 years, so I kind of ignored some of it for the first half of my life. But I knew that my mom and dad had produced my dad's autobiography back in the 1970s. They started with pencil and paper, then they typed it on a regular typewriter, put it on a computer, and the stories were so vivid that they were described as though they had happened the previous day. My parents were very sharp people, and whatever truths they had, whatever my dad said happened. If my dad said that's what happened, then that's what happened, because he was a man of integrity, and a big theme in the book as well. So flash forward to 1997, my dad passed away, unfortunately. 2016, my mom passed away, unfortunately. A historian friend of the family and mine in Michigan, she handed me the disc, now the stories on the disc. And I didn't really have much time to look at the disc at that point, because I was taking care of my mom's affairs for about a year. Then I decided to sort of retire for a year. And but then a friend of mine from Michigan asked me if I could help them. They were short and they needed some help reading X-rays and ultrasound. So it brought me back to my desk, which brought me back to the disc. And I loaded the disc into the computer. And between cases, I was reading my dad's story. And I thought, wow, I remember some of this, but most of it I don't remember. And it wasn't just one or two escapes that grasped me. The stories were so amazing, unbelievable, miraculous, fantastic that I wanted to share with the world.
Sure, what a powerful book. Dr. Wolf, what do you hope that readers take away from your book? What message do you hope to resonate with you?
Well, there's a lot of them. I mean, hopefully people realize that in our most harrowing times, there's still a glimmer of hope. There's always some type of hope. There's always that, if you have some determination, if you have a good friend or two that can help you, help is always a thing that's a theme that I've always, even in writing a book, but the message of anti-Semitism is the number one thing. It's so prevalent now, racism and anti-Semitism, not only in our country, but elsewhere. I want people to realize what the dark world is really like and be careful what they wish for, because what happened to my mom and dad and his parents could happen to you or me or any one of us in a heartbeat. And it could be a bad neighbor, a bad business deal, a government, a community, or a foreign government that could change your life overnight. So there are a lot of lessons in it, and once people start getting into the book, they'll realize what we're trying to talk about.
Oh, what a message, Dr. Wolf. How can our friends out there get a copy?
Well, if you want to find more about me and the book and topics related to the stories, especially about the Holocaust and the Hungarian Revolution,